Okay, let's get started. So today is lesson 8. All right, here are some themes that we were talking about in The Wizard of Oz. The first theme is a home. What makes your home a home? What makes a home special? What makes a home different from, just a house? What would make people want to live somewhere? So we've talked about things like people might want to live where there's a beach, where there's snow, right? But what are some other things? Or Kevin wants to live where there's a good school, right? What are some other reasons that you might choose to live somewhere? I think especially of Dorothy. What are the reasons that Dorothy wants to live in Kansas? Kevin raised his hand, Samuel raised his hand, Jenny raised his hand. Oh, we're popping. Okay, Kevin, you first. Say it really fast, just one sentence.
Okay. Dorothy wants to get back to Kansas because she and Kansas have a special emotion, and his uncle and his aunt are right there, so she wants to go there, meet his kinsfolk.
All right, so you're saying maybe emotions, maybe uncle and aunt are there, right? Okay, Samuel, your turn.
I think because his aunt was there.
Okay.
Because his aunt and uncle was there.
There's family, right? Jenny?
Because her home is there.
Home. So that is the question, right? What's a home? What makes this place the home? And
Nope.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk about how much power we get through this kind of thing. So let's see what we get. Okay. In the movie ends right there, right? The witch just shows up and then Dorothy goes home. Yay, happy ending, right? But now the book keeps on going and the book tells us more about what happens to these people. Okay, so that's why I called this the outcome of the quest. You see, the quest didn't really end when they got what they wanted, or rather when they thought that they got what they wanted, right? That's not when the quest ended. There's a little bit more, and we're going to find out why is this other part kind of important. Okay, so what were your answers? Where was the scarecrow when Dorothy first met him? Everybody got this one. Y'all want to? Rebecca, where was the scarecrow when Dorothy first met him?
In the
Cornfield? Very good. Okay, where was the Tin Man when Dorothy first met him? Grace.
It's under a tree.
Under a tree, yes. Oh, and then I liked your answer for the Cowardly Lion. What was the Cowardly Lion doing when Dorothy first met him?
Too hard to.
Trying to bite Toto, right? All right. Okay, so here's the question that not a lot of people had some answers, but I think there's another answer that I was hoping we would notice, but we can talk about it now. So after the quest for a brain, and in the movie, the quest ends at the Emerald City, right? But the story keeps on going. So his quest isn't done. The story keeps going. And at the end of the story, what does he have that he did not have in the beginning? Now he has some pins and needles in his head, right? But what else does he get? What else does he get? Okay, Kevin. Very fast answer, just one sentence, okay?
Okay. The country of Oz.
He gets the country of Oz?
Yeah, the scarecrow.
He becomes the king of the Emerald City, right? Yes, so he becomes a king. All right. Jenny, were you going to say the same thing or do you have something different?
He became a new king.
Yes. So he's turned from a scarecrow into a king. And now he has people who listen to him. So now he kind of has some power, maybe. Okay, what about the Tin Man? After his quest for a heart, and when he's at the Emerald City, Oz gives him a cute little heart, right? But then he keeps on having adventures. And at the end of the story, what does he have? There we go. So the Tin Man becomes king of the Winkies. Okay, let me draw a crown, right? He's a king. He gets a little crown. Yay! Right? And then I'm gonna draw a green crown for the scarecrow, right? Because it's the Emerald City, so maybe his crown is green. Did you know that when they published this story, people made all kinds of games from the story? This story was so popular that first of all, the writer had to keep on writing new books, and he wrote 14 books, then he died, and other people wrote more books about Oz. But the other thing was that people created games. You know how nowadays you can play Pokemon? Pokemon? No? Okay. Do you know those kind of games where you have little cards and there's people on the cards and you play games with those? The Wizard of Oz was the first time that people did that. They made little cards with characters and they used those to play games. Sorry. Okay. I guess now you guys all play games with computers and phones. No more cards. Okay. Last guy, the Cowardly Lion. After his quest for courage, and Oz gives him some medicine, and he feels like he has courage now. So what does he get at the end of the story? Oh, you guys are getting it now. Alicia, what do you think?
After beside a hill there are forest, and the lion and be the king of the forest.
Yes. All right. So we have another king. Yay. All right. Good job. Oh, Jenny, I've got to call on you. Okay, who else doesn't get called on much? Noah, Rebecca, Grace, and Sophia, and Sarah. Okay, I got to call you guys more. All right, good job, everybody. So at the end of the story, they got what they were looking for, but they also got more, didn't they? So what kind of thoughts and feelings do you think they might have been thinking, or they might have been feeling when they, at the end of the story, now that they all are kings? They're not just normal people anymore. Now they're kings. Samuel.
They think the family got they wanted.
They did when they were at the Emerald City, right? So that's
yeah, and got more than.
They got more than they wanted?
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe they were thinking, I got more than I was wanting, right?
They all being king.
Yeah. Would they be happy or sad?
Happy.
Happy. Okay, cool. Noah, what do you think? In the beginning, oh, I don't have a brain. And then he becomes the king of the Emerald City. How do you think he might feel?
Surprise.
Surprise. That might be a good surprise. Yeah. I like that word.
I once was a little scarecrow and now I'm the king of the Emerald City. Wow.
Wow, huh? Wow. Maybe he's thinking, wow. I like that. You know, maybe I'll try to write that down. I once was a little scarecrow, and now I'm the king of the Emerald City. People, that's really great. Okay. Grace, can you think of something that maybe the Scarecrow, king of the Emerald City, or the Tin Man, king of the Winkies, or the Lion, king of the animals? Can you think of something maybe that they're thinking or feeling? Okay. But let me ask you a question. Who, at the end of the story, we have a king and a king and a king. Who started all of this?
Dorothy.
Noah, yes. This whole thing started with a little girl. And what did she think of herself? Did she think that she was a very powerful person? Does Dorothy say, I am Dorothy the great and powerful? No? Grace,
No.
what did she say? I am Dorothy
Small and weak.
The
small
and meek.
the small and meek. That's right. Wow, how interesting. A person who says, I am small and meek creates 3 kings at the end of the story. Okay, so after the quest, what kind of changes happened in the land of Oz? So, Munchkin Land, at the beginning of the story, what is Munchkin Land like? Is it a nice place to live? Sophia, what do you think?
It changed. The bad witch is gone. The people are happy.
Yeah. So when Dorothy gets there, the bad witch dies. And so in the end, the people are happy. Okay, so that's a good change. Yay. Okay. Okay. What about, let's skip to the bottom. What about Winky Land? What was it like before Dorothy got there, and what changed after Dorothy's trip? Grace, do you want to tell me? Winky Land. Before Dorothy came there, what was it like?
There is not a bad witch.
Yeah, Dorothy accidentally killed the bad witch, right?
Yes.
The bad witch is gone. So is that a good change or a bad change?
Good change.
Good change. And instead of the bad witch, who is the king?
Is the King Man.
Yay! Good job. Tin Man is king. So is that also a good change or a bad change?
Good change.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, that's interesting. Also, I was thinking this, because these 3 friends, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, they went on the quest to look for what they thought they didn't have, right? To be smart, to have a heart, to have courage. And do you think they would have become kings if Oz did not help them? Maybe not, right?
actually
Because they
will
would still
not.
say, oh, I can't be a king. I'm not smart enough, right? So sometimes I think what Oz did maybe was helpful. Okay, I think we don't have time for this last page. So we'll come back if we have, oh yeah, okay, you guys got this. The Chinatown, a China ornament, if it's taken away from the special town and they put it on a shelf, some of you wrote this very well. What happens? Right? It's not allowed to move. It just has to look pretty. Okay. And it makes it very sad, right? The ornament is very sad. Okay. All right. Now, if you have time, you can answer these questions. We know what happened in their quest, but do you think there are any other good things that happened during the quest? Anybody? Kevin.
I think the good thing is first Dorothy come to this world and kill one evil East wicked witch, and then it wants to go back to Kansas and want the Squirrel, King Man, and Crowley Lion to get what the thing they want, and she killed the West wicked witch. So I think this is the good thing.
Cool. All right. Let's move ahead to our next book, because I've got to spend some time to tell you about the person who wrote it. It's very interesting. You guys did a great job here. The word dainty, like beautiful, but easy to break, right? Very, Very good. A lot of research. Okay. Some people also figured out alliteration. What is an alliteration? Rebecca, did you find out what an alliteration is? No? Okay, that's all right. Okay, Alicia's raising her hand. She knows. Anybody else? Samuel, you had a good answer on this one. I think you know it, right? Yeah? Okay, Alicia, you go first. Ladies first.
All the first words are all the first letter are the same, like W, G, or T.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right. And some of you wrote your own alliterations. I thought they were brilliant. Somebody wrote an alliteration that started with TH on each word in the sentence started with TH. You could have different letters if they have the same sound. So if I say fearless flying pheasants, right? Well, it still has the same sound, right? So that's an alliteration. Fearless flying pheasants would be an alliteration. All right, good work, you guys. You did so much work. It's time for us to look at our new book. Oh, oops. Question, how did other people benefit from Dorothy's quest? Maybe you guys can write that if you have time later. Okay, all right. I got to make sure I can introduce the next book. And then if we still have time, we'll come back here and talk about this question, okay? All right, welcome home. Welcome back home from Oz. Welcome back to Kansas.
No.
Any questions about the book? Some of you have already started reading it. Okay, now I want you to remember something. The answers to the questions are all in the book. If I read your answer and I say, I don't think that's in the book, then you're not learning what you need to learn in this class, okay? So make sure you can look at your answers and say, this was in chapter 3, this was in chapter 2, okay? You got it? Thank you. Good job, everybody. All right, I'm looking forward to your answers. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye. Have a good evening.